There's a lot of ways to have a great day in Disneyland, but we're going to tell you about 10 ways that you can have a terrible day in Disneyland. Stick around so you don't make the same mistakes.
Welcome to RTD Adventures. My name is Jacob.
And I'm Brian.
And we're coming at you with a new video. So in this video, we're going to talk about 10 mistakes that could give you the worst day in Disneyland. And normally we come at you with tips and tricks to help you have an amazing day, but these are things that we want you to avoid because it would make you have the worst day ever. So we're going to start off with number 1, and that's forgetting to make a reservation for DCA or for Disneyland. Now, this will definitely ruin your trip because if you haven't planned that, you're not getting in. Because not only do they want a ticket for that day, they want to know you made a reservation. So make sure before you go on your trip that you've made reservations for the days that you will be in either Disneyland or in DCA.
And for some of the busier times of year, the reservations can fill up quite a bit in advance. So it's worth your time as soon as you know that you're going to be going on that trip. See if the reservations are open for that day. If not, keep an eye on the calendar and reserve as soon as possible. That way you're not getting left out on the days you would like to be in the park. Speaking of busy seasons, not doing the research on when those busy seasons are can be a huge mistake.
Yeah.
If you're going at a time where you think it's going to be kind of empty, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening, right? There's really not an off season in Disneyland anymore, but there are seasons that are way busier than others. For example, you might think that everybody's going to stay home and be with their families on Christmas. That's actually the busiest time of year. You need to be prepared for this and understand things like spring breaks or grad nights. Different things that Disney puts on throughout the year that might affect the crowds to just be larger than normal. So do the research and make sure that you understand what the busy times are and what the really busy times are.
All right, so the third way that this could make your trip the worst one ever is taking advice from someone that has different interests than you, especially when it comes to like Disney parks. You might have that one person that says, hey, avoid that ride, you're not gonna like it. I know you're not gonna like it. Or, like don't bother eating certain things at Disneyland, or, I just don't take their advice. Make sure you look at, videos like this. People who understand the latest trends, the latest, things going on in Disney, because I feel like you'd be surprised to find out what you do like while you're in Disney.
And that's not to say that you shouldn't take advice from anybody.
Sure.
Obviously, we're on the internet giving you advice, so you're listening to us for whatever reason. But, there's people out there, if you like to do lots of thrill rides and you're taking advice from somebody that hates thrill rides, you're probably not going to be planning the optimal vacation. So just make sure that you get your information from people that have similar interests. So another mistake that some people make is not subscribing to the channel. I know there's a lot of you that are watching this and enjoying our content but have not yet subscribed, so please do us a favor. Hit that button, like the video, share the video if you can, right? All this stuff goes a long way into helping us bring more of this Disney content your way. So if you love these videos and you want to see more of them, hit that subscribe button.
Boom.
And how's this for a mistake? Not budgeting. Disneyland is notoriously expensive, and if you go in without having a budget set, you're gonna blow through your money really quick, especially if you're trying to stick within a certain amount of dollars. You're gonna be out of those dollars super quick.
Very quick.
Right? Food's expensive, souvenirs are expensive, special attraction things are gonna be expensive like Disney Genie Plus. Individual lightning lanes. You need to make sure that you understand beforehand exactly how much money that you need for certain areas, right? Don't just wing it because you're gonna run out of money faster than you expect.
All right, we've all been forgetful at some point, but forgetting something vital could definitely destroy a trip. Now, I'm talking like sunscreen in the middle of summer in Disneyland, where it's just like boiling hot. Forgetting water bottles, you can buy certain things in the parks for sure, but you're also, going back to that budgeting one, gonna be spending a lot more than you would if you would have just brought it into the park. Another one though, jackets. It can get cold at night. I know that it doesn't seem like it would, but sometimes it really can, especially depending on what season you're in. But make sure you aren't forgetting vital things that you're packing when you're going to Disneyland or DCA.
Speaking of packing, what about overpacking and bringing all sorts of nonsense that you don't need? We're trying to bring things that are vital, obviously. Jacob just talked about that. This is going to be terrible for a couple reasons. Number one, you're going to be weighing yourself down.
Miserable.
And you're going to be miserable with a heavy backpack trying to carry that thing around all day. Number two, you're going to run out of room for any souvenirs you do want to buy. Pack the essentials. Don't worry about the rest.
Now, there's a lot of nice hotels and close by hotels to Disney and DCA, to Disneyland and DCA. But if you don't book those reservations for those hotels early, you may have to settle for something way, cheaper than you were planning before, or way more expensive. So just do yourself a favor and your party a favor and just book those early as you possibly can.
And how about buying Genie Plus too late? So there's things that have been introduced recently, like surge pricing, that can really throw extra money into your budget that's not needing to be there. But how about purchasing too late in the day? If you don't start off your morning with Genie Plus, and let's say you get to the park in the afternoon and you buy it, a lot of those lighting lanes are going to be gone, and they're going to be pushed pretty far back into the evening, and you might not even need to use Genie Plus at all. So make sure that if you do want Genie Plus, you're buying it ahead of time if you have the option to, and make sure that if you need it in the morning, you're getting it then and not wasting your time with purchasing it too late in the day.
And we can tell you right now that waiting in that 2-hour line for that ride is not a good way to spend your time in the Disney park. So wasting time in lines and not understanding where crowds are and like how busy it is could really ruin your day. So make sure you're not waiting to go on rides at the wrong times. So just try to understand that there's like peak hours of the day where people may be more crowded in a certain area. There's times where it's definitely less crowded. So those would be the best times to go. Just be aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye on that app that will show you, what rides are most popular at that time. So you're not waiting in a 3-hour line. Don't do that. It's not fun.
All right, number 10 on the list is probably the one that we see people make more often than any of the other mistakes on this list. That's not preparing for the exercise. I don't think a lot of people understand, especially if either you've never been to Disneyland or if you haven't been in a long time, you're not understanding how much exercise is involved with your trip. Of course, you're there to have fun. Vacations are supposed to be relaxing, but this is not the relaxing kind of vacation. You are going to be walking all day long, and you're going to be walking 10 plus miles, right? If you're going to be there all day, there's a lot of physical demand on your body. Make sure you've got a good pair of shoes. Make sure that you're walking before your vacation so that you're physically prepared for it. The last thing you want is to break down and not be able to enjoy the full potential of the parks. All right, so what do you guys think? There's a lot of mistakes that people make on a regular basis. We're hoping that you don't make these mistakes, but if you have, let us know your experience with it, right? We want to know some of those experiences. Put them in the comment section down below, and maybe you can help somebody else not make the same mistakes, right? And if we've missed any out, put that down there too. We're all about spreading the knowledge and letting people have the opportunity for the best vacation ever. So leave us those comments. Help yourself out by watching some more of these Disney videos that are going to help you plan your vacation. There's a link up on the screen, so just click or tap right there. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. And once again, thanks for watching.